how to manifest with the moon. This is a joy of mine to talk about. This is something I work on one with my clients as they are working towards achieving their big dreams and goals and visions. Why the moon? Well, the moon has an effect on us. Think of the tides of the ocean, teachers you know who say, oh my gosh, must be a full moon, the kids are crazy. Emergency rooms, both of my kids were born on full moons. It's an exciting thing when you start to notice how your environment affects you. And rather than going against the tide, going with it and getting to your goal much easier and much more quickly. So, if we haven't met yet, my name's Irina Miller. I'm an astrologer, spiritual life guide, and energy alchemist. And my joy is giving you and sharing with you and teaching you the sacred practices and tools that help you step into the life you were born to live. Today, we are talking all about the moon, and I'm going to share my 3 amazing steps today. This is part 1 of the 3-part series because we want to build. We don't want to get overwhelmed in the very beginning, but 3 steps today, my unique energy recipe to manifesting or co-creating with the moon. Because let's just talk about that word manifesting for a second. It's a loaded word, but it's one that we know. It's in the common vernacular, the zeitgeist, the collective. And when we hear it, we're like, okay, I know what manifesting means, but it really is co-creating. It's stepping into a dance with the divine, saying, okay, I have this dream in my heart. It was placed here for a reason, and I'd love to create it, make it into the physical world, manifest it. But how do we do this? Not by sitting in a corner going humana, 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 and just visualizing everything raining down on us, but it is about setting an intention and then looking for the signs and signals from the universe and taking action and then pausing and reflecting and starting up again. So let's talk about how the moon can help you and why even use the moon. Well, the moon is one way that we can become aware of our manifesting abilities. And also, the moon represents our emotions and our intuition. That's why I love to use it because in emotions, energy in motion, they help us really tune into those gut feelings and sensations. We pay attention to those feelings, those little inklings. Why I named my show this. Inklings are those little nudges and hints, those feelings you get, I should take this action. So the moon can help you, especially when you know where your moon is, like astrologically speaking, what zodiac sign was it in when you were born? It can help you figure this out. Okay, so let's dive in. The first part of this unique manifesting energy recipe is holy cannoli. I have all the O's in my head. Holy moly, let me go back and yeah, the obvious. There's so many things I want to say at once. So the obvious part. All right. The moon has 8 lunar phases, and we will get into that. But if you try to start paying attention to all the phases in the very beginning, it becomes overwhelming. So we're going to just talk about 2 phases. The obvious ones. Mercury is retrograde right now, so I'm all over the place. Better ground. First things first, is the moon new or full? And drop a little heart emoji below if you notice when the moon is full. You don't sleep, it's hard, you've got extra energy, maybe you're anxious about things. Maybe on new moons, you feel sleepy, you feel a lack of motivation. So, the first thing, the obvious, look up in the sky. Is the moon new or full, or is it somewhere in between? In the following video series, the other inklings that I do, we'll talk about the phases. But for now, new moon, full moon. Why? We want to start simple. On a new moon, you set your new intention, you plant the seeds for the dream, the goal, and the full moon is a point of reflection. What happened in those 2 weeks? How far did I come? What do I need to maybe release to start the cycle up again? That's where you begin. Then we'll get into the specifics. So it's the obvious. The second thing is observe. Now, when you observe, you are just noticing how does the moon affect you. And it's the whole reason why I created my Inside of the Moon journal and planner. It's to help you, yes, notice the phases, the cycles of the moon, and how you can engage with them. But it also gives you, I jumped ahead, sacred practices and rituals. But let me just share with you. It gives you an ability to track where the moon is, what sign it's in, what phase, and how you feel. This is called moon mapping. And why is it important? Well, you start to notice, okay, well, does a full moon always affect me the same way? Am I always energized? Does a new moon always affect me the same way? And you're going to start to discover little nuances. In the upcoming videos, we'll also talk about the zodiac sign the moon's in and how that plays in. But for now, obvious, new moon or full moon. Second thing, observe. How do you feel? Just keep track of it. And then the final O is orient. And what I mean by orient is orient yourself. Put yourself into a space and place that you can engage with that phase of the moon. And right now we're just using new moon and full moon. So with a new moon, you orient yourself and you say, okay, well, new moons are a time for new beginnings. So I'm going to write down my intention. I'm going to set a goal. Maybe you make a vision board. Maybe you put together a plan. That again is why I have the journal. The other thing about that is when you put together your plan, you might want to engage with sacred rituals or practices, and that's what I have in the journal. Things that you can do with crystals, with affirmations or mantras, meditations. Any one of these things you can choose to help you orient and align yourself with that new moon energy or the full moon energy. So beginning in this way opens up a whole new pathway of experience for you. So to recap, and Amy, hello. Yes, that's why we're scattered. All of us, good old Mercury retrograde. Um, but when you do this practice, this energy recipe, part 1 of 3, you're going to notice a difference in your ability to be present and to reach your goals, to actually make them a reality. So first O, the obvious, is the moon new or full? We just start there. We'll get into all the other details later. Second thing, observe. How do you feel each day? You just take note, where is the moon? You can say right now it's new or it's in between. We're working up towards a full moon, it's coming up. And then the final piece is orient yourself. And to orient yourself, what you can simply do is when you take note of your mood, let's say it's energized, you say, okay, well, I'm going to do a practice that helps me utilize this energy. Maybe you go for a walk. Maybe it's a moving meditative walk. Maybe you decide to put together a crystal grid or do a specific sacred practice that helps you channel your energy and work towards your goal. All right, if this has brought up more questions and answers, if you are curious about how to incorporate the moon in your creation process, then drop me a heart emoji below. Well, actually, drop me a moon emoji because we already talked about the heart, but drop me a moon emoji because I've got something very exciting I'm putting together that I want to share with you and the rest of the world because it's going to bring that awe and playfulness back into creating. And it's a wonder to see how my clients jump for joy when things start to flow with even more ease. All right, have an amazing day wherever you are. And if this has been helpful for you, then definitely share it with a friend. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you get the latest and greatest intuitive tips right to your inbox or favorite platform. All right, lots of love. Bye, guys.